All right. Just wanted to not so much do one of these. See, I told you. See, look at my expertise on things and my knowledge and my wisdom and amazing brain power. It's that I actually just wanted to point out, like, how really the way that this article read, and then the way that it was a very good way that this person analyzed and the studies and stuff, that like one of the things is it was talking about exercise and what it does that kind of improves the nervous system. And it got into this thing of people who regularly exercise, like basically they have a daily regime, that they have much higher levels of a number of kind of like ways that they could associate information. They start to become particularly good at having a high level of information assimilation. But a big thing that it got into that I found interesting, they put it as dampening. So was it somatico? Was it neurosomatic? Some dampening. Basically, if you have bad body feelings, you have just bad feelings in your body and in your mind. If you exercise regularly, you don't. You can just turn bad feelings off. That's basically what they're trying to say, but that you have to use the proper kinesiological terminology. So this is one of these things about these doughboys who then try to lop their cocks off, is that a big part of it is that they've never developed in even a remotely normal way. So they can't deal with sort of bad body feelings. This also, now this is the hard part about this, because both J-Man from Un's Review, who has the 5 laws of behavioral genetics, then with Edward Dutton talking about this stuff, people who have a daily regime of exercise, this would actually be something that it tends to be genetic in its disposition. So one of the interesting parts about it, though, is that it seems to be a way that humans developed a method of assuaging anxiety and assuaging negative feelings through some form of physical culture. And when we think about physical culture and we think about the way that they're staged, I mean, think about like the yoga classes, the exercise dance classes, the Tai Chi for health classes. Like, people will go to them for years. This will form relationships like nothing else. And then when you think of, say, with something like Kung Fu or Karate, the dedication you have to your teacher is tremendous. And the reason why is because you start performing in every possible way better, to the point where you even start to kind of become even a bit more kind of moral, caring, kind. Like and so this is something that pops up a lot in the cult of manhood as boys become men, and they say they're training in wrestling. You would find this especially in Persian, Iranian, and Indian Hindu culture. To some degree in Pakistan as well, you'll find this. The brotherhood of the handshake from the Zurkhane, or the House of Strength, and the tradition of the wrestlers, that now it's mostly an Islamic tradition, but it goes all the way back to when the Pakistanis and the Indians were the same people, kind of almost as the Persians. And so you find the cudgel-wielding deities, these deities that wield maces and clubs, and they wrestle. And so this article, I think, I'm going to take a look at it again, try to post it around. But I think that it's a particularly interesting article because it's one that buttresses what has been found about not just exercise, but what happens when you exercise. That it actually, that like for Oliver from Semiogogue, that this has always been associated with the primordial alchemical traditions, to the point that eventually even ballet, when you know enough about especially occultists and ballet and sort of the part where that came from in French culture, the import that played in court dancing, that, boy, maybe it is time I ordered something from Kansas City Steak Company again. But so it was, I just had to think about that, because it was something that this was sort of a more positive thing, you know. And this was also why, one of the reasons why it's like, when you see all these SJW types and these socialists and these weirdos that are obviously, something's funny about them, but you can't put your finger on it really. You're like, what is it that's so odd about this person? And some of it is, no, their body is weirdo. They move their body, or they do things with their body that is weirdo. That, like, they'll move their body in a way that you're like, okay, you know, like, what's are you handicapped? Or, you know, like a lot of people who are liberals, like, especially, like, there's a lot of, I know a lot of you have encountered this. It's kind of liberal women who it's like, you're really like, okay, are you kind of a little, you know, a little retarded, you know? And that Dutton has actually presented some pretty good information on this one. Big breastedness and retardation, and like being slightly retarded and having big tits might actually allow you to pass on your retard genes. You know, like women, like there's the big tittied women who are just mean and like kind of fucked up, and you know, pretty girls were mean, that allows them, they got big tits, so it allows them to pass on their genes, you know, their mean girl genes. But yeah, just some thoughts. All right, we had a great night tonight. Yeah, crew 1, Delhi 0. Oh yeah, we won. Oh yeah. All right. Talk to you guys soon. Later.